Now, they were found a few years later in 1974. And when it comes to archaeological discoveries, there seems to be two different stories that one tells. Either it's a little boy chasing his dog in the field, and the dog is chasing a rabbit, and the rabbit goes into a cave, and the dog follows, and then the little boy follows as well, and then all of a sudden they find something wonderful. Or scenario number two, which is in this case the case for the Warriors, there's a farmer who's digging a well. And so he's digging, and all of a sudden he pulls out a limb, maybe a leg or an arm. And apparently he was very much beside himself, 1974. So I was told that he decided that he needed to hang this arm or leg from a nearby tree just to make sure that the spirits, wouldn't follow him or something. Mm-hmm. At least they made the right decision, go talk to somebody in the community, and eventually it made it up the food chain all the way to Beijing. And they sent a team out to investigate, and then the Warriors were found. No longer to be hung from a tree, but going in a museum, right, which is where we prefer them to be.
Yeah.
And so over the years, people have been excavating more and more. And this is also part of our exhibit, which is interesting in its own right. So we've had Terracotta Warriors visit our museum before. Mm. But over the last 25 years, say the first quarter of the 21st century, technology has progressed, and also our archaeological knowledge of the area has increased. Mm-hmm. So for those people who have visited the previous exhibit, mm-hmm, they may remember that there was talk about, these warriors were painted. A lot of them nowadays, they appear, they're all drab, the same kind of brownish color.
Right.
But imagine an entire army looking back at you in just vivid Technicolor,
Right.
And so they were. We don't have an actual terracotta warrior painted here, but there are text panels that show you the details because it's still extremely fragile. Right. But they figured out a way to preserve the paint. As before, it wasn't possible, apparently, not that easy. So now they have been able to do that. And so we have photographs to show bits and pieces like a belt or a shoe where the colors are extremely vivid still. So yeah, it helps you with the imagination too.
I must admit that I never thought of Terracotta Warriors being fully painted like that, because what we usually see is right, them in brown or grayish, however, looking as the terracotta that they are.
Right.
But it makes complete sense that for their intended use, it would look much more realistic to an incoming army to have something more than just statues, to have actual warriors that looked like and had the colors of.
Right. And like you said, we are used to, because of previous exhibits or maybe books or TV series, where we've seen them like they always have been, and now we know better. Mm-hmm. And the same goes for Roman statues. There are the famous white marble statues of the emperor who's standing as the emperor, and then you realize they too were painted.
Wow.
And you go, wait, that's just not right. Well, no, it was.
Yeah.